Before we get into it, one rule. Do not come into the comments talking about how you spotted one of these on the highway last week. These cars are not street legal. None of them. At least not by design. A handful escaped because someone paid a small fortune to make them road legal, and we are getting to that at the end. Plant that in your brain. Let's go. Ferrari started this whole category back in 2005 with the FXX, built on top of the Enzo. Then came the FXX Evoluzio, then the 599XX, then the FXXK, and the FXXK Evo, both built on the LaFerrari platform. The FXXK Evo is the current king of that lineup. Hybrid V12 plus an electric motor, 1,036 combined horsepower, 0 to 60 in under 2.5 seconds, top speed over 217 miles per hour. Price tag, $2.6 million. Now here is where it gets strange. Ferrari calls this the XX program, and what that really means is you do not buy this car and take it home. Most owners leave it at Ferrari's facility in Maranello. Ferrari ships it to whatever track you want to use it at. Ferrari's mechanics prep it before every single session. You show up, you drive, you leave. The car stays. Technically, you can take it home, sure, but every track day still requires a Ferrari-approved inspection before you touch the throttle. So most owners give up and let Ferrari babysit it. You paid $2.6 million and you are basically a guest of your own car. Around 30 to 40 units of each XX model exist, and most of them are asleep in a Maranello garage right now. Pagani, the Italians who are physically incapable of building a normal car. The Zonda R came out in 2009, 6.0-liter naturally aspirated V12 from Mercedes-AMG, 750 horsepower, carbon fiber on everything. Then Pagani built the Zonda Revolution, same DNA, more aggressive. Then they started the whole cycle over again with the Huayra. The Huayra R runs a custom 6.0-liter naturally aspirated V12 that revs to 8,250 RPM and produces 850 horsepower. No turbos, no hybrid system, just a 12-cylinder engine screaming at the absolute top of its register. And Pagani did not build this engine for emissions compliance. They built it to sound like a Cosworth Formula 1 engine from the 90s. That was the actual brief from Horacio Pagani himself. There are videos online of the Huayra R warming up at the factory. Grown men cry, dude. It might genuinely be the best-sounding production car ever made. And you cannot drive it on a public road. Less than 30 made, around 2.6 million euros each. McLaren has 3 entries in this category. The P1 GTR from 2015, 986 horsepower. Then the Senna GTR, based on the road-going Senna, 814 horsepower, 75 units made. And then the Solus GT, which is the most unhinged of the 3. The Solus is a single-seat closed cockpit car. 1 seat, closed. Looks like a Le Mans prototype that got lost and ended up in someone's private collection. 5.2-liter naturally aspirated V10, 829 horsepower, revs to 10,000 RPM. McLaren built 25 and sold every single one immediately. Here's the detail that breaks your brain a little. The Solus GT started as a digital concept car designed for a racing video game. McLaren looked at their own creation in a game and decided to build the real thing. Most manufacturers do not work backwards from a video game. McLaren said, let's try it anyway. It worked. Aston Martin, the most aggressive track-only lineup of any brand on this list. They started with the Vulcan in 2015, 7.0-liter naturally aspirated V12, 820 horsepower, 24 units made. Looks like a fighter jet that crashed into a race car, and neither survived. Then they built the Valkyrie AMR Pro, the track-only version of the already insane road-going Valkyrie. The AMR Pro strips the hybrid system out entirely to save weight. Cosworth 6.5-liter V, 12 revving to 11,000 RPM, over 1,000 horsepower, 40 units, and it targets a lap time at Le Mans that would have put it on pace with actual prototype race cars. Then in 2025, they revealed the Valkyrie LM, 10 units. This is effectively the actual Le Mans race car with the mandated racing electronics removed. If you want what Aston Martin is campaigning at Le Mans sitting in your private collection, this is as close as it gets. 10 people on Earth own one. That's it. Full stop. Lamborghini. 2 cars. The Sesto Elemento from 2010 first. The name translates to sixth element, which is carbon on the periodic table, and the entire car is built from it. Even the seats are bolted directly to the carbon tub. Total weight, 999 kilograms. Lighter than a Honda Civic. 5.2-liter V10 from the Gallardo. 562 horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.5 seconds. Lamborghini announced they would build 20 units. Reports suggest only 11 were ever made. Most are sitting inside private collections nobody will ever see. Hold that thought, because one of them escaped, and we are coming back to it. The second Lambo is the Essenza SCV12. Naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 making 819 horsepower, the most powerful naturally aspirated V12 Lamborghini has ever produced. 40 units, around 2.5 million euros each. And to even be considered as a buyer, you had to be invited. You read that correctly. Bugatti, Maserati, Gordon Murray, Brabham, Porsche Apollo, Ford, and everyone else. Bugatti built the Bolide, 1,578 horsepower from the same W16 they used in the Chiron, basically with the cork pulled. Maserati made the MC12 Corsa back in 2007, a full racing version of the road-going MC12 sitting on top of a Ferrari Enzo V12. Then in 2024, they revealed the MCX Trema, twin-turbo V8, 730 horsepower. Gordon Murray, the man who designed the McLaren F1, built the GMAT. 50S Niki Lauda, 4.0-liter Cosworth V12 revving to 12,100 RPM. And this car has a literal fan mounted at the rear that sucks the entire chassis down onto the road surface like a vacuum cleaner. Brabham came back from the dead and built the BT62. Porsche made the 935 in 2019, basically a 911 GT2 RS, hiding inside a body that references the original 935 race car from 1978. Apollo built the Intensa Emozioni and the Apollo Evo. Ford made the GT MKIV, a wider, heavier, angrier track-only evolution of the road-going GT. Every brand that takes itself seriously has at least one car in this category. The list keeps going. Red Bull RB17. And then there is the final boss. The Red Bull RB17, designed by Adrian Newey, the man behind every dominant Red Bull Formula 1 car since 2006. Cosworth built 4.5-liter V10 revving to 15,000 RPM, plus a 200 horsepower electric motor. Combined output over 1,200 horsepower, weight under 900 kilograms, top speed over 218 miles per hour. And the spec sheet undersells it. The RB17 generates 1,700 kilograms of downforce at 150 miles per hour. That is theoretically enough to drive inverted on a ceiling. The car pulls 5G in corners. Formula 1 cars pull 5G. This is a private customer road car pulling Formula 1 forces. Price, $6.7 million. Limited to 50 units, all 50 sold immediately, and Newey himself said publicly that if you get into this car half asleep, it has the potential to bite. Translation: this machine will kill you if you are not fully present every single second. Every one of these cars shares the same DNA. Tiny production runs, no emissions testing, no crash structures, no airbags. The manufacturer never tried to homologate them. They were built to be untouchable. 20 made, 40 made, never again. The badge becomes myth because scarcity makes it myth. That was always the point. Lanzante and RML Group, then a small British company called Lanzante, said no. Most people have never heard of them. The hypercar world knows exactly what they do. They started by converting McLaren P1 GTRs into road-legal machines. Around 40 of the 58 P1 GTRs ever built have gone through their shop. Each conversion runs about $700,000 on top of the car itself. Then they converted a Pagani Zonda R, then a Zonda Revolution, then a Porsche 935. Then they did the one everyone said was impossible and converted a Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. And they have publicly stated they want to make the Red Bull RB17 road legal next. Newey himself has said it is feasible. Imagine a car that pulls 5G sitting in a parking lot at a grocery store. That is the future Lanzante is actively building. The other player is RML Group, who spent 18 months converting an Aston Martin Vulcan. 18 months to redesign every system on the car. Headlights, suspension, emissions, climate control. Vulcans were never supposed to have climate control. RML built one anyway. It exists. It has a license plate. Back to that Sesto Elemento. Lanzante finished the first road legal conversion in 2025. It made its public debut at the Goodwood Festival of Speed and ran the hill climb. Then in early 2026, they completed a second conversion. That car was sold to a man named Chris in San Francisco. He imported it. It now drives on California roads. The conversion added roughly 200 kilograms to the chassis. Chris's other car is a Pagani. He rotates them. Most days, he takes the Sesto. He is the only person in the entire United States who can do that. The only other person on the planet who can is whoever owns the first conversion in the UK. Two people on Earth. That is the world of track-only hypercars in full. Ferrari has the XX program. Pagani has the R Series. McLaren has the GTRs and the Solus. Aston Martin has the Vulcan, the AMR Pro, and the Valkyrie LM. Lamborghini has the Sesto Elemento and the Essenza S CV12. Bugatti has the Bolide. Maserati has the MC Extrema. Porsche has the 935. Red Bull has the RB17. And a small garage in England keeps finding ways to put plates on every single one of them. None of these are cars you will ever own. Most of them you will never see in person. They exist as engineering proof of what becomes possible when nobody has to follow any rules. And for the ones that escaped, they prove that with enough money and enough time, no rule stays permanent.